inception of the Range Rover Evoque marked a huge paradigm shift in the automotive industry. The compact premium SUV was born, and the Evoque has been sold, well, just as fast as Land Rover can actually make the thing. It has absolutely led the charge in terms of desirable small SUVs. It looks great, the fashion conscious love them, and you know, with that desirable Range Rover badge being the new entry level to the brand, plenty of people were willing to snatch the keys off of dealers' hands. This new model year sports new front and rear bumpers, including new J-Blade headlights, which are sort of being seen across the Jaguar Land Rover group. It retains that sloping roofline. Even in this 5-door variant here, it looks very raked and, you know, sporty. It has an athletic stance to it. But it still has that flair with the wider wheel arches, and this car with its blacked out detailed bonnet vents and trim around the edge really does look very premium. The Evoque is certainly one of those designs which has aged really well. It looks just as fresh as what it did as a concept car at the stand of the London Motor Show. Inside you'll find your usual Range Rover plush interior. Just because this is the baby of the range, it's no less Range Rover. There's loads of soft touch materials, really nice cascading dashboard elements. You've got this new touchscreen in-control infotainment system from the Jaguar Land Rover group, which is really nice and easy to use. Again, all of the switchgear here is quite familiar to the previous car, but the introduction of new materials down the side just keeps things fresh. And also this huge glass panoramic roof, which lets plenty of natural light into the car. Also new for this year are more sculpted seats, which are very comfortable on long journeys. And in this specific car, they are also heated. Moving into the rear, you'll find seating for 3. Now, a high transmission tunnel does restrict the use of the middle seat, but there's plenty of room for 2 adults with good levels of head and leg room. And the Range Rover Evoque isn't all style over substance because it has a 575 litre boot for you to use. Now, the real headline for this new model year is what's under the bonnet. A new 2 litre Ingenium diesel engine has been introduced. This specific one is the higher horsepower, 178 brake horsepower. It also produces a hefty 420 Newton meters of torque. We will come to that torque in a moment. This car, again, is the one you want because it has all-wheel drive. 2-wheel drive is an option if you spend most of your time in and around town. It makes more sense, it's more fuel efficient. This one, being the TD4, has all-wheel drive and this actually rather good 6-speed manual transmission. It's got a nice positive shift to it. Though the automatic transmission in this car is fantastic and I wouldn't begrudge you to go for that at all. Arguably, it actually suits the nature of this car a little bit better. And the reason I say that is because the Range Rover Evoque is a really nice, comfortable, tranquil experience whenever you're driving around at urban speeds. Whilst the ride may be a little bit firm at times, it holds itself really nicely through the corners. Refinement's really good. You can't really hear the engine at all whilst you're pottering along. There's a little bit of wind noise at higher speeds, and when you get onto the motorway, the road noise does begin to build. But I have to say, whenever you are going from point A to point B, it's a beautifully comfortable and very relaxing experience. The steering is well weighted and has a brilliant accuracy to it. The car always feels sure-footed, never nervous, everything's in hand whilst you head to your chosen destination. Whilst this may be the baby Range Rover, it certainly has the correct genes to wear that badge. On more dynamic roads, you can go down here and select the dynamic option, which will firm up the suspension of this car. It's an £800 option, this, by the way. Firm up the suspension, it'll weight up the steering and improve throttle response. And that torque is really good at low revs, just really surging you out of the corners. And I have to say, this new Ingenium engine performs really well all round. Range Rover actually say on your best behaviour you can get about 58 mpg out of it. This new Ingenium engine is also lighter than the 2.2 litre diesel it replaces, and it makes the car feel a little bit more agile as a result. Now, I said that this all-wheel drive model was the pick of the bunch. Why? Well, because Posh Spice doesn't mind getting some mud under her nails. Wearing the Range Rover badge and having Land Rover underpinnings means that this Evoque is very capable off-road. In fact, none of its competitors come even close to what this is capable of. You've got Land Rover's famous terrain response system down here, which has various modes for snow, ice, muddy ruts, sand. The onboard computer knows exactly what it's doing. It's very, very capable. There's also hill descent control whenever you find yourself traversing some extreme gradients. It never feels out of its depth, and I have to say that whilst most people who buy this car will not end up taking it off-roading, this all-wheel drive model is so capable, and it's actually really, really enjoyable to go and take it off of the road where it looks so good, all shiny and white in this instance, and go and get it a little bit muddy, because, you know, it's what the car was designed to do. And it will absolutely surprise the majority of owners just how capable this machine is. I mean, I don't know why we're all acting so surprised, because of course it's what the company's famed for, but I mean, none of its competitors really touch it for its off-roading capabilities, that's for sure. The improvements to this Range Rover Evoque have rather matured and developed this already rather good package, and I know the Evoque has a little bit of a stigma about it as to the sort of people who buy it, but it's certainly a deserving machine of its Range Rover heritage. Great off-road, much improved on-road, and from £30,600 it's a great entry level to the Range Rover brand itself.
Thanks very much for watching, and let us know what you think in the comments below. Please subscribe for more on the latest and greatest cars to hit the road. For all of the latest automotive news, written reviews and coverage from motor shows, go to www.insidelane.co.uk.